emergency eye care. This presentation will cover the basics of eye injuries that commonly occur in different workplaces and immediate first aid steps we can take to manage them. Our goal is to understand how to respond effectively to these injuries to prevent further harm and ensure proper care. This presentation will also cover techniques that you can practice and essential protective eye equipment to reduce risk. Eye learning outcomes, after this presentation, you should identify different types of eye injuries commonly encountered in different workplaces, demonstrate immediate first aid procedures for various eye injuries, apply safe handling practices to minimize injury severity until professional medical help arrives. Common workplace injuries. Eye injuries are unfortunately common in various workplaces. They can result exposure to different hazards such as flying particles, chemicals, blunt impact, or even UV light from equipment like welding tools. Today we'll discuss 4 common types of eye injuries. These are foreign objects, chemical burns, blunt trauma, and UV exposure. Each of these injuries has a specific causes and each requires a unique response to ensure proper care and minimize damage. Okay, first type of common injury, we have foreign object in the eye. A foreign object in the eye, such as dust or small particles, can be incredibly uncomfortable and may even scratch the eye surface if not removed properly. The immediate response is crucial. First, avoid rubbing the eye as it can worsen and lead to abrasion. Instead, rinse the eye with clean water, ideally using an eye wash station. So, commonly present naman yan sa different workplace, dapat may eye wash station. If the object doesn't come out or if the irritation continues, you should seek medical attention to avoid complication. Second type, we have chemical burns. Chemical burns are a serious risk, particularly in environments where workers handle substances like cleaning agents, solvents, or acids. The immediate response to a chemical splash is flush eye with clean water for at least 15 to 20 minutes. It is important the eyelids keep open to ensure thorough rinsing. These steps can make a significant difference in preventing long-term damage. It's also dapat mag-follow up sa medical professional or ophthalmologist as chemical burns can have severe consequences. Okay? Pangatlong types of common injury, we have blunt trauma. Blunt trauma which can occur for an impact with tools, machinery, or a fall. It can cause swelling, bruising, or even internal damage to the eye. Applying a cold compress can help reduce swelling, but it's essential not to apply pressure as this could worsen the injury. So, yun nga, usually pag cold compress, nakadampi sa mata, hindi yung tinatanggal-tanggalan, naka-stay put lang sa mata for 10 to 15 minutes. If pain or vision changes occur, it is important to get medical attention to rule out serious internal damage. Last common eye injury, we have UV exposure or photokeratitis. UV exposure, especially from welding arcs or prolonged exposure to sunlight, can lead to photokeratitis. It's a painful condition similar to sunburn of the eye. Immediate care include resting in a dark room to limit further exposure to light, applying a cold compress for comfort, and seeking medical advice if symptoms persist. Wearing UV protective goggles is essential in high-risk environments to prevent this type of injury. Practicing first aid techniques for eye injuries. So we covered 3 main techniques. We have yung applying rinsing of the eye for foreign objects, applying cold compress for blood trauma, and flushing out chemicals from the eye. Practice these techniques is crucial that we are so prepared to act quickly and confidently in real scenarios. Each method requires proper technique to ensure effectiveness and prevent further injury. Essential eye protection equipment. Prevention is always better than treatment, and that's where eye protection comes in. Safety goggles, face shield, UV protective glasses, and eye wash stations are essential tools for reducing the risk of workplace eye injuries. Using the right equipment for each task or work can help protect workers from exposure to particles, chemicals, and UV light. Consistently using this equipment, especially in high-risk areas, is key to maintaining eye safety. Okay. Eye safety in the workplace goes beyond knowing the first aid. It requires training, access to protective equipment, and regularly safety drills. Encourage consistent use of eye protection and ensure the safety equipment like eye wash stations is well maintained and accessible. Practicing these steps can help create a safer work environment and reduce the occurrence of preventable eye injuries. To summarize, each type of injury has a specific first aid steps. For foreign objects, rinse with water. For chemical burns, flush with the eye thoroughly. For blunt trauma, use a cold compress. And for UV exposure, rest in a dark environment. Remember, immediate and proper care can prevent further complication and support recovery. This visual serve as a quick reference for each treatment technique. So, yung mga next slides, puro step by step. Pakibasa na lang to ha. Kasama to sa return demo sa Monday next meeting. Okay, quick summary lang. Rinsing the eye. Use clean water. You tilt the head and gently rinse from the inner corner outward. So, unay ng inner canthus papuntang outer canthus. Applying cold compress, use a wrap ice pack or cold cloth without pressure. Apply for 10 to 15 minutes at a time. For flushing chemicals, use water or saline for at least also 15 to 20 minutes. Tilting the head and holding eyelids open and seek immediate medical attention. So there are another eye procedure that we can use when there is an emergency. Okay, so another eye procedure that we can use when there is an emergency is eyelid eversion. In this presentation, we should review parts and function of eyelid, review the different diseases of the eyelid, to know the proper way of everting the upper lid for the examination of the superior portion of the eye, to properly remove any foreign body trap on the upper lid. So what is eyelid? It's a thin fold of the skin, thinnest skin of the whole body. Tagalog term is takip mata. So these are commonly parts of eyelids, frontal section, and sagittal section. Function of eyelid. The eyelids provide physical protection to the eye, prevent drying of the eyes. It ensures normal tear film and drainage, secrete the oily part of the tear film. Diseases of the eyelid, we have abnormal position, inflammation, lumps, and abnormalities of the eyelashes. Why do we evert eyelid? To examine upper tarsal conjunctiva, to remove a foreign body and so relieve the pain, to prevent a corneal abrasion and limit further damage. Things to remember before we start procedure, we wash our hands. Never avert an upper eyelid if a penetrating injury or corneal thinning is suspected. Some materials needed: cotton buds, paper clip, or small blunt object. Pero mostly, as a professional, we use cotton buds in inverting eyelid. Magnification, it means wala tayong slit lamp. Kung walang slit lamp, pwede tayong gumamit ng magnifier. Okay? Always explain the procedure to the patient. Reassure and encourage him or her by stressing that relief will be felt immediately after the foreign body is removed. First to do is drop the anesthesia. Ask the patient to look down. Okay. So we push the upper tarsal downwards. We use the cotton buds. Okay. Okay, another eye care procedure we use for eye emergency is how to make and apply an eye pad, eye shield, and bandage. This presentation, we learn how to make eye pad, eye bandage, and eye shield. We also to know how to apply the patient properly. Difference between eye pad and eye patch. Okay, things to remember: wash your hands, position the patient comfortably, avoid distraction, ensure to have a good lighting, explain the patient what are you going to do. Reason for why do we apply eye pad is to rest the eye, to aid healing following from trauma, and to protect the eye. While eye patch is used for amblyopia, and extraocular palsy patients. Okay, yun yung difference ng eye patch at eye patch. Okay, also remember when applying eye pad, kailangan nakasarado yung mata. Pag hindi kayang isara ng patient yung mata niya, lagyan ng tape. Okay, so usually we need cotton wool, gauze, scissors, adhesive types, circular object, about 8 centimeters in diameter. Okay. So, mostly, size ng isang iPad is 5 to centimeters wide and 60 meters long. Okay? Pag sobrang mas malaki, minsan kasi natatanggal. Okay? Yung adhesive tape naman, 15 centimeters long, ha? Kasi minsan, yan yung tamang sizes. Okay? So, ang isa pang importante dito is yung Cartella Shield na bibili sa mga drugstore. It can help hindi agad mahawakan yung mata. Okay? So, eye bandage naman is, ang reason bakit tayo nag-eye bandage is to maintain gentle pressure over an iPad. Usually, ang eye bandage is 5 centimeters wide. Okay? And always remember, pag nagbabandage tayo sa forehead muna bago sa mata. Okay, yan lang naman. Sinasummarize ko lang yung mga pwede kong itanong sa return door mo. Pero pakibasa na lang lahat para wala kayong makalimutan. Okay, another eye care procedure that we can use when there's an emergency is how to instill eye drops. Okay, the objective of this presentation to be familiar with the appropriate manner or techniques of instilling eye medication, ointments, and drops. Why do we need to know this? To aid examination, to aid diagnosis, and to treat eye conditions. So, also important din na alam nyo yung different color ng cups ha. Like for dilation, we have, ang kulay ng cup is red. So, yung ibang kulay, pakisdan na lang or dapat alam nyo na yan, pag-aralan nyo na sa Ocuparma. Okay? So, always check if the drops are not expired. Check the patient's name and eye drop label against the prescription. Also, check the fluid. Dapat clear white lang yan na walang other colors ang drops. Okay? Another important to remember, hindi sa cornea pinapatak, sa eyelids or sa lower lids. Magpipinch kayo ng bag sa lower lid, wag sa cornea. Kasi sensitive ang cornea. Okay, for ointment, same procedure. Kailangan nyo lang malaman dito, for eye ointment is used for superficial cornea injury with antibiotic and used to deliver longer acting topical medications. Pero other procedure, same lang sa instilling ng eye drops. Okay, for exercise 7, yan yung gagawin. Choose 2 numbers from this presentation. Ipopost ko to. Two scenarios. Make a 2 to 3 minute video per scenario. The deadline for this exercise is November 26. It will be submitted by Google Drive. Okay? So, I'll be posting this presentation. Mamimili kayo anong scenario. Nagawa nyo lang ng video. Hindi naman specifically kayo ang bibidyohan. Pwede kayong kumuha sa internet. Basta na-explain ng, mayroon namang mechanics sa hulihan kung ano yung, paano kong gradean. Okay? Yun lang. You need to be clear na hindi naman specific na kayo yung bibidyohan. Pwede kayong kumuha sa net. or cartoons, gano'n. Okay? So, 10-minute break. Mamaya exercise 8 naman. Thank you. If you have questions, clarifications, pwede naman. 3, 3:10, start ako ng exercise 8. If you need to clarify something, message lang kayo.
although like this month only, okay, may nagsumbong sa akin. So, there. As much as I want to reveal who this girl is, I cannot. My lawyers advise me not to. I can get in trouble. Yeah, but to clarify, she's not an ex-girlfriend. She's, I think, a side chick. So, not an ex-girlfriend. Hello. Ayan, man.
Hi class, good afternoon. Let's proceed for exercise 8. So our topic is all about progressive addition lenses, their features, advantages, limitation, and how to properly fit them. Okay, by the end of this lecture, you should be able to differentiate progressive lenses from other lens type, understand the importance of accurately measuring distance PD, near PD, and pupil height. Use a progressive fitting chart correctly for proper lens alignment. Progressive lenses were introduced by Bernard Martinez of SL back in 1959. This invention became widely known under the brand Varilux, which revolutionized the presbyopic correction. Progressive lenses are lenses with more than one focal point or dioptric power, allowing clear visions at multiple distances. They are also known as progressive power lenses, progressive lenses, pulse. These lenses provides continuous vision from distance, intermediate to near. When managing presbyopia, we can choose from 3 lens types. We have single vision lenses, bifocals, progressive addition lenses. Each has strengths, but pulse offer the most natural and modern solution. Single vision lenses correct only one distance at a time. This makes them inconvenient for presbyopes because the patient must switch glasses. They can feel cumbersome, especially during multitasking. Bifocals have distinct junctions separating the near and distant zones, which many find cosmetically unappealing. They also have blur in the intermediate zone, image jump when shifting gaze. These limitations make them less ideal for some patients. Progressive lenses provide uninterrupted vision at all distances, no visible line, making them cosmetically appealing, convenience in every task, no image jump or differential displacement. They can give a natural visual experience. Despite their advantages, pulse have some drawbacks. Peripheral aberration, especially in lower cost design sa mga not branded. Some patients experience adaptation problems. Fitting is more critical compared to other lenses. They are generally more expensive compared from the two. Fitting pulse is an art. It requires adequate training and skills. It involves communication and counseling skills and convincing power. Also, it's a science because it requires systemic approach, understand of potential problems, and in-depth study of the design. These are the different designs of pulse. Progressive lens blanks vary in design depending on manufacturer and technology. Understanding the lens layout helps in choosing the right decision for each patient. So, ang lagi lang hindi naiiba dyan kung saan nakalagay yung add power. Okay? This is a progressive fitting chart. It used to check PD, fitting height, and verify proper frame selection. It ensures accurate placement of the corridor relative to the patient eyes. We can fit all presbyopes with progressive lenses, but we must consider special cases or limitation before proceeding. Some factors may limit patient success with PALS. Field of view requirements, direction of gaze habits, mobility or head movement patterns. This may affect adaptation and satisfaction. So, ang progressive, hindi sa lahat pwede. Hindi nire-recommend sa mga patient na may anisometropia or antimetropia, patient with high cylinders, also patient with prisms. So, let's proceed sa fitting of progressive. We have 5 procedure in fitting progressive lenses. So, sa exercise 8 din, ito lang ang gagawin. You should have a picture of these 5 steps in fitting progressive lenses. Picture lang. You can get in internet or you can do your own. So, first procedure, frame selection. When fitting PALS, frame selection is crucial. Metal frames with nose pads are most preferred because they allow adjustments. The frame must accommodate both distance and near zones. Avoid frames with shallow heights like aviator styles because it restricts corridor space. Okay? And then itong numbers na to kung saan ka nagdat. So, above the pupil, 12 mm, and below the dot, 22 mm. So, ang total vertical height, minimum, we have 34. Pag ang vertical height is 32, hindi recommended na pang progressive. Gets naman itong slide na to. Okay, thumbs up if okay tayo. Walang questions. Okay, so second procedure, adjust the frame. So may tatlo tayong ina-adjust sa frame. First, yung vertex distance. So, mas maganda, mas malapit sa mata, parang contact lens. So, minimum 11 or 12, pwede na, 12 mm from the eye. 12 mm vertex distance, pantoscopic tilt, and face form wrap. So, yan yung tatlong kailangan ina-adjust sa frame para maging komportable ang pasyente sa progressive. Okay, lahat naman marunong na mag-PD. Monocular PD is more important for progressive. Measure the center of the nose from the center of the pupil. So, different type of mono-PD measurement, we use pupillometer, direct pupillary reflex marking method, and using of PD rule. After dotting, itatapat yung dot sa cross mark sa chart, ball fitting chart. Okay, hindi sa dot ha, sa cross. Okay. Nga, frame verification, we verify frame level with layout card, follow the PD markings. Make sure the frame is suitable for ball before fitting. Final reminders, educate the patient about adaptation, head movements, and proper use of their lenses. Okay, may tanong ba sa pag-fit ng PAL? So for exercise 8, I need lang the picture of 5 steps in fitting. Yung exercise 7 video, so if wala nang tanong, okay na tayo. Next, you need to clarify from the exercises ba? May tanong? If walang tanong, you can proceed answering the quiz at Canva. I will send the password sa messenger. Kung wala nang need to clarify, you may log out and you may start answering the quiz until 6 p.m. Thank you. Yes?
Hello po, Doc. Ano po yung kailangan i-prepare for yung RetDem na exam?
Ito, lahat to, reviewin nyo. Pero per group naman yun, so don't worry. Kailangan nyo lang basahin tong exercise 7 and 8.
Bali, Doc, i-prepare na rin namin lahat ng materials na kailangan.
Ay, pa-finalize ko pa sa Friday, message nyo ako kung may materials na dadalhin. Follow up nyo lang ako. Pero fina-finalize ko pa. Posibleng ako magdala, pero baka may padala ako konti lang. May tanong pa? May nag-raise hands kanina. Here? Nagtanong ka ba? Nag-raise hands
Same po kami ng question ni Zach.
Okay, sige. Basta Friday, paki-follow up na lang ako kung may kailangan dalhin sa Monday. Okay? Pero mostly ako naman magdadala. Don't worry. Okay? If you have no questions, I will be sending the code for the quiz in Canva. Please answer before 6 p.m. After 6 p.m., di na ako mag-accept. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, Doc.